Policy submission. Let us start with policy submission or policy proposal. So we take up the key stages of policy submission. And even before the key stages, let us take up who are the stakeholders or key players of the policy submission process. So here is the insured or the prospective insured, the producer or the agent. So prospective insured is the person who wishes to take up an insurance policy from the given insurer. Producer or agent is the representative of the insurance company, or rather an authorized representative of an insurance company, who will help the prospective insured take a correct decision and purchase an insurance policy. And then there is the underwriter. Underwriter evaluates the proposal made by the prospective insured, and the producer helps the prospective insured make the correct choice and prepare the correct proposal. We will get into these stages in a little while. So what is the goal of policy submission or policy proposal? So you see, submission and proposal, these words are being used interchangeably depending upon the geography, depending upon the insurance carrier. So the goal is to bind a policy and to secure financial protection against specified losses. So who is to secure the financial protection? It is the insured or the prospective insured who wishes to secure financial protection against some large losses. So for this, he is willing to purchase the policy, and for this he is willing to pay the premium for this policy upfront. So what are the stages in policy submission or policy proposal? So there are these stages. Draft. First stage is basically when the submission is in the draft stage. So what is this draft stage? It is during this draft stage that the proposer or the prospective insured by himself or through his agent or through his producer submits the data. Herein he will be submitting his own information about self, information about risk, and information about purchased policies, coverages, etc. by himself or via the producer. This information will typically be submitted via self-service portals or agency portals, depending upon the case, made available by the insurance company. And these agency portals or self-service portals for the prospective insured, they are, you can say, an extension of a core insurance system, wherein policy administration is for now the module in question. So what happens during the draft stage? First is the name ascertainment. So name ascertainment is one when the person who is the name insured or who is the key person making the proposal, his positive name identification is done in the core insurance system. So we establish his identity, and if an account is already there for this identity, we are good and fine. And if that's not the case, we create an account for this name insured, so that the contact database is having the right information. Then there are a set of initial questions which are asked when the policy is in the draft stage. So for these initial questions, we just evaluate the risk. When I say we, the insurance company evaluates the risk, and it bases these initial questions, a go or a no-go decision is taken. So if these initial answers seem to be right, the insurance portal will offer pages wherein insured or the prospective insured or the producer will submit further information. Next is the proposal. Proposal will have more details, and it will have details like the individual details of the prospective insured and other individuals involved in the policy. It will have details like the risks which are to be covered, or sometimes these are called as coverables, the coverages. So against these coverables or risks, there will be cover, and then cover limits or coverage limits. So say for example, there is an automobile. So this automobile, which is a risk, or we can call it as a coverable, may have a coverage against theft. Now for coverage against theft, there is a limit, and that limit will typically be insured declared value or IDV. Similarly, for this automobile policy, there could be a third party liability. So third party liability is the cover, and there will be a certain limit to this cover, which is the cover limit or coverage limit. Then basis the proposal. The proposal is quoted. So the submission reaches the quotation stage, and this is the quotation, which is basically calculation of premiums which the insured has to pay, and other policy terms are also mentioned here. So a quotation comes to the prospective insured. Next stage is the bind stage. If the quotation is accepted and if the premium payments are done, the policy reaches the bind stage, and now this is a binding contract between the insured and the insurance company. So both the parties have to adhere to this contract. Next stage is the issued stage for the policy. So there may be some time wherein a full policy document is issued and printed and presented to the insured. So this is the policy submission stage, which is issued. So this is all about policy submission. As the policy is submitted and as the policy is issued, policy is in force, or it is an effective policy with a policy term, and during the term this policy will require policy servicing, this policy will require policy changes, etc. Thank you. This is your trainer and friend Vijay Shekhar Shukla signing off for now. Stay tuned.